Hi guys, today we're going to be harvesting mint, and mint is probably one of the easiest herbs to grow. I've got some in a terracotta pot over here and I've been cutting off of it all season long. And today I want to show you a few ways in which I like to use it. But I do want to say, if you're planning on growing it or getting some to grow it in a pot because mint is very invasive and it is a vigorous grower. And if you put it in the ground, it will spread everywhere and take over the entire area. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you want a patch of mint or a field of mint, put it in the ground. If not, get yourself a pot and plant some mint and you'll enjoy it all season long. So we're going to go over here and we're going to start cutting on some mint, and then we'll go inside. I'll show you a few ways in which I like to use it. I've got my little basket and our pruners, and we are going to go and get some mint. Look at this beautiful plant. Oh God, it is so good. This is sweet mint, and there are different varieties of mint. There's peppermint, spearmint, and sweet mint. And I prefer the sweet mint over the peppermint and spearmint. Reason being, I think the sweet mint has a milder flavor. It's still very minty, but to me, like peppermint and spearmint kind of have just kind of like a little bit of a bitter taste or an antiseptic taste. I'm not quite sure of the word, but I don't know. I think the sweet mint just has a much more rounded flavor. I've got my pruners. Let's harvest some mint. So mint is one of those plants that if you grow it, you want to kind of harvest off of it throughout the season and just kind of come in and cut a little bit all the way around, because what that does is it encourages new growth and it keeps the plant kind of dense and bushy. And you'll notice like towards the end of the season, you'll end up with some leggier, stringy stems. And that's what we don't want during the growing season. But we're nearing the end of the season now. The nights are getting cooler. And so eventually this plant will fizzle out. Oh my God, it smells so good. I wish you could smell it. So all I'm doing to harvest some mint is I'm just grabbing a stem and I'm kind of going down about 3 or 4 sets of leaves and just kind of cutting right below and just making sure I have a few leaves on each one. Okay, we've got more than enough. Let's go in the kitchen. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is propagate mint, and it's very easy. Pay close attention. You're going to want to get yourself a glass jar. You're going to want to fill it with water, a little more than halfway. Set it down. Okay, here's our basket of mint and my pruners. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for some longer stems like this. And we are going to strip the leaves. And we're just going to leave a couple on top, a couple of the small ones. Everything else, we just want to strip. Then take your pruners and just make a little cut on an angle on each one. Just like so. And then just take them, put them in your little jar of water, and just put them right by a bright sunny window. And within a few days, you'll end up with these. These are some cuttings that I took about a week ago, and you can see the roots in there. And that's all there is to propagating mint. It's so simple. Now I'm going to show you how I dry mint leaves, and we're going to make some sweet mint tea because that's Mo's favorite and he's been wanting it. First, I've got my kettle of water. We're just going to flip that on. And then over here, I've got a baking sheet that I've lined with some paper towels, and then a cooling rack or a cookie rack. And this is where we're going to lay out our mint leaves and let them dry. You could use a food dehydrator if you have one. I don't have one. I've been doing it this way as long as I can remember. This is how my mom used to do it, and it's worked fine so far. So that's how we're doing it. So while the water's heating up, I am just going to remove all the leaves from the stems, and we're going to put them in the strainer part of a salad spinner because we're going to rinse them off. Okay, I'm going to lay out a few paper towels so we can dry the leaves a little bit. And now I'm just going to rinse them off, and I'm just going to lightly pat them dry. So now I am just going to take the leaves and just spread them out onto this little cooling rack and just evenly distribute them so they're not laying on top of each other too much, because you definitely want some airflow in here. And that's it. I will just let them sit here for a couple days. I'll probably move them out of the way into like the dining room or somewhere bright and warm so they can dry out. But it usually takes about a couple days for them to dry out. And then I will put them in a jar similar to these, just mason jars. And there it is. Mint, dried mint. And I use this to make mint tea. It's so good with a little bit of honey and lemon, especially if you're not feeling well. It's really, really soothing on your throat, and it's just comforting. But for now, I'm just going to move this over to the other side of the counter. Our kettle is ready, and I've got the stuff here to make some sweet mint tea. So this is a very simple sweet tea recipe. I make it all the time and have it readily available for Mo because he really enjoys it. So it only takes a few simple ingredients and a few minutes, and you'll have a pitcher of sweet mint tea. So I've got a 1 quart Pyrex measuring cup here, and I've got 3 Lipton tea bags, which I'm going to set right in here. And then I've got a little bit of baking soda because it will help keep the iced tea from getting cloudy. And all you need is just a little tiny pinch. Next, I'm going to add in some of our mint leaves. And you can use fresh or dried. And then just add a hot water. And we'll let it steep for about 15-20 minutes. While the tea is steeping, I'm going to run into the living room. I've got some basil cuttings sitting in a glass of water, and I'm going to grab some of those because I've got one more thing to show you guys. Look at Shuey. He's so tired. Just a lazy afternoon with Mom. Okay. We've got to grab a little bit of basil. This is the Amazel basil. I had it in a terracotta pot outside. and the wind knocked it over, cracked the pot, and snapped half of the branches and basically the entire plant. So got some cuttings. Meanwhile, the living room does look like a disaster, but we've got some gardener supply boxes here. And I'm so excited. Stick around. This is going to be fun. While the tea is steeping, I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy tomato and onion salad using the mint and the basil that we harvested from the garden. So we're going to start with some diced tomatoes. We've got some red onion. Some cucumber. You can leave the skin on or off. It's optional. I'm going to peel it. Next, we've got our mint and our basil. And I'm just going to chop it up. We'll drizzle in a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, a little apple cider vinegar. You can use lemon juice if you want, or lime. We just need a little bit of acidity, a little bit of salt, and it's just seasoned to taste, and some fresh ground pepper. And just toss it all together. Look at that. We'll have to give it a little taste test. Oh, it's so good. It's so light and crisp. Okay, next step. Okay, so it's been about 20-25 minutes, so I'm going to remove the tea bags and strain them into the pitcher. And I'm just using the back of my spoon. Now I've got a 1-gallon pitcher here, and I'm going to pour the entire contents of this measuring cup into the pitcher, including the leaves. We're not going to strain it. I'm going to add 1 cup of sugar. Maybe a touch more. Give it a stir until all the sugar is dissolved. And then fill the remaining with water. Give it one final stir. And into the fridge it goes to chill. All right, guys, moment of truth. That is so good. The bread is crisp and warm. The tomato and onion salad, it's cool. The mint and the basil give it that fresh pop of flavor. The onion is just the perfect crunch, and the cucumber too. It's just so good. All right, guys, well, that was just a few ways that I like to use mint. I hope you guys give some of them or all of them a try. If you do, definitely leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know how it worked out for you, if you made any adjustments, any variations. And like the tomato onion salad is a pretty flexible recipe. I mean, you can pretty much add anything you want to that, you know? I mean, there is no right or wrong way to make it. It's pretty much suit to taste. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.